Long ago, when the stars in the sky had just begun to sing their ancient songs, a small crew of explorers, led by Captain Kalen of the starship Orion's Whisper, traveled through the vast reaches of space. They had set their sights on Mars, the red jewel that once hummed with the forgotten whispers of a lost civilization. The ancient Martians, many said, had disappeared long before humans ever set foot on their dusty surface. Yet, the mysteries of their existence still pulled at the hearts of those who dared to venture there. Captain Kalen was a wise and daring leader, a figure known for her sharp mind and steady hands in the worst of space storms. Along with her crew, she had traveled to many distant worlds, but Mars was different. Call to them. The winds of the planet seemed to whisper secrets, secrets that only the bravest would seek. When they first landed, the crew found strange signs of the Martians' presence, faint markings etched into the cliffs and massive stone structures buried beneath the soil, some half-collapsed and others shrouded by strange, glowing energy. These ruins were ancient, far older than human history, and yet they were still brimming with something unseen, something almost alive. It was during one of their deeper excavations that they found it. Deep beneath the surface of Mars, the crew discovered a hidden chamber carved into the planet's heart. Inside, surrounded by symbols no one had ever seen before, lay an artifact, glowing with a faint, ethereal light. It was shaped like a crystalline sphere, translucent and floating in midair, suspended by an energy unknown to the crew. The artifact hummed with a sound, a low, rhythmic pulse that seemed to echo through their bones. Captain Kalen reached out slowly, feeling the warmth of its glow wrap around her fingers as she touched it. The moment she made contact, a vision surged into her mind, a flood of images and words from the far future, terrifying and wondrous in equal measure. Her vision showed stars dying, worlds being swallowed by black holes, and the rise of civilizations that no one had ever heard of. But it also showed beauty, new worlds brimming with life, cities stretching to the skies, and strange beings who spoke in melodies that danced through the very air itself. She saw worlds colliding, and yet, through it all, a single truth echoed louder than anything: the future was fragile and nothing was ever certain. When Kalen pulled her hand back, her breath caught in her throat. She blinked, trying to shake off the vision. But the images lingered, swirling like a storm in the back of her mind. The crew gathered around her, their faces anxious. Kalen knew they had seen nothing but a few strange symbols flicker across the surface of the sphere, but she felt the weight of the vision still pressing on her, like a ghost haunting her every thought. I saw it, she whispered, her voice trembling. The future. All of it. Every bit. The crew gasped. They had heard the old legends, the tales of the Eyes of Mars, an ancient artifact said to grant its wielder the ability to see the future. But those who had looked upon it before had all gone mad. It was a curse, not a gift. The artifact would show you what was to come, but the knowledge would break your mind. "Captain, you need to step away," said Lieutenant Alda, her voice filled with worry. "We don't know what this thing is or what it does. We shouldn't risk it." But Kalen, driven by something deep within her heart, could not let go. "I have to understand it," she said, her voice far away as if she were listening to a distant echo. "We all have to understand." The crew debated, but Kalen insisted. She ordered the artifact to be carefully moved onto the ship and placed in a special containment chamber. But even as they left the chamber and began their journey back to the Orion's Whisper, the crew began to notice strange things happening. The stars outside the ship's windows began to flicker in odd patterns. The space between them seemed to warp and bend as if something unseen was pulling at the fabric of the universe. The crew's dreams grew strange. Visions of the future, much like the ones Kalen had seen, began to appear in their minds as they slept. Some dreamed of beautiful worlds, while others saw nothing but endless blackness. But it wasn't just the crew who were affected. As the ship traveled further from Mars, strange signals started to flood the communication channels. Unintelligible whispers echoed from distant stars, and the once calm space outside their ship became filled with swirling clouds of cosmic dust, dark and foreboding. Then came the first signs of madness. It was subtle at first. A member of the crew would mutter about things that hadn't happened yet, frightening things that seemed to have no place in the present. But then, as the days passed, the whispers grew louder. The crew's visions grew more frequent, and their minds, once sharp and focused, began to fray at the edges. It was Lieutenant Alda who first snapped. She had been staring into the artifact for hours, her eyes wide and unblinking as if trapped in a trance. When she spoke, her voice was hollow, like an echo from another world. "We're too late," she whispered. "It's already happened. The end is coming." Alda's words sent a chill through the crew, but it was Kalen who, despite her earlier caution, couldn't stop herself from looking into the artifact again. Her curiosity was too strong, her desire to understand the vision too overwhelming. But as she gazed into its depths, the same haunting images began to fill her mind. Only this time they were clearer. The end of all things. A vast cosmic storm swallowing the stars. A lonely figure standing on the edge of the void, watching it all burn. And then a voice. A voice that seemed to come from the very depths of the universe, whispering in Kaylin's ear, "What will you do knowing the future?" The words were not just in her mind. They were in her bones, her blood, her soul. She snapped away from the artifact with a gasp, her hands trembling, her mind filled with chaos. Her crew stood in silence, all of them staring at her, waiting for something, anything, to happen. But Captain Kaylin, knowing now that the future was too much to bear, could only whisper the final words of the legend that had haunted explorers for centuries. "The eyes of Mars are not a gift," she said. "They are a curse. And those who seek them will never return whole." And with that, the Orion's whisper drifted further into the stars, leaving Mars behind, its secret still hidden beneath the red dust. As the crew ventured into the endless void of space, their minds were forever changed, haunted by the future they had seen, and the terrifying truth that the cosmos, in all its beauty and terror, was always watching. But as the whispers of the artifact faded into silence, one thing was certain. The legend of the alien's gift would live on, echoing through the stars.
Hey there. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our exciting adventures.